Okay, so our first drill is going to be super, super simple, right? So I'm hoping most people will be able to start here. So if you do struggle, you struggle with balance, then I encourage you to, like, I've got a wall here, I can just hold on for the start, right? But as long as you're okay, I want you to start just like this. I want you to pick one leg, bend your knee slightly. So for me it's this leg. I'm going to bend my knee slightly, I'm going to pick that foot up. So you can do it like this, for a bit of a split stance. Load that leg and then lift it. That's a good way of setting it up, just so you're learning how to shift that weight a little bit. You're getting a bit of awareness of what's going on. So again, I'm on mats here, so that gives me a little bit of feedback, and that's quite cool. You don't have to do that. You don't have to use a pad or a pillow. You can do if you want to make it a little bit more difficult. But what I would say is do it in minimalist shoes, like slippers will do, but barefoot, socks. I've got barefoot shoes on, so nice and wide, I get a bit of feedback. Just so you can feel what's going on, because your foot's really important. Think about it, it should be like a hand, it should be able to spread. So I always had hammer toes. I've actually got a picture of me when I'm fighting and I'm being knocked back, and my foot's just like this, all my toes are crunched up, and I'm not rooted to the ground at all. I'm very unstable. Yes, I was okay, I was fighting, so I had decent balance and stuff, but it could have been a lot better if I developed my feet sooner. But what I've done is a lot of work. I've had toe spaces on, I've worn barefoot shoes for like 3 years, highly recommend it, and it's corrected a lot of issues. Because, I'll give you a good example. I know going off on one, but let's start as we mean to go on. I had a kid the other day, right, and he's been leaning forward like that, right. He had a bit of an issue with his Achilles and stuff, and for whatever reason, they've decided we're going to put a heel in. We're going to put a... So he's already wearing shoes, right? Because most shoes have a bit of a heel, don't they? That already shortens the Achilles, already puts you that way. They then put an insole in. So they put this insole in, which has really took him that way. So what's happened is, this insole, because it's raised his heel, he's gone that way. So then to compensate, his body's gone like that. So now he's got a big curve in his spine, he's starting to get back problems. His quads are really tight. He's like 12, man. So what's that going to do to his development? When really what we should have done is address the issue with the feet, and that would have fixed it all. But instead we've kind of put a plaster on it, which has now created more issues because it's happened further up the chain. My point is, sort your roots out. That's enough about barefoot shoes. Anyway, so I encourage you again, in your socks, minimalist shoes, whatever. So, I'll load that leg. Now that's our first step, right? Just to hold it. And you can hold it for 10 seconds or for 20 seconds, whatever, you know what I mean? So what I mentioned before about getting like a tennis ball or a football, well, that's where this can be quite useful. So, we can just pass that round, we can do this, we can start to develop it, right? That's kind of stage one with the balance drills, yeah? So I'm going to show you some more advanced ones at the end, and I encourage you maybe beginning and end to do it. Maybe when you're more advanced, you might start to skip them out a little bit, but always revisit them. Really cool, these drills. If you're feeling a bit tight and a bit tense, they're a great way just to calm things down a little bit, and they just foster the connection between this and this. But let's say, okay, that's feeling okay. Right, so then what we're going to do, I'll go from here, and I'm going to lift that knee up, and then I'm going to push it back. And then up, way, and back. Now, I want 3 to 5 of them. If you're good, right, and once you start to develop that, the aim is, we want to get a bit of welly into it. So I'm going to start back here, I'm going to boom, back, boom, back, boom. So see how I'm putting a bit of pace into it. That's the goal with that one. The goal is to get it to where we can do that. Now, I'd encourage slow and controlled sometimes as well, even if you are advanced, because sometimes, doing it, boom, 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 nice and slow, get a lean, and then nice and slow, pushing back, way. That can expose some stuff too, like how it did on me there. You can see my leg fighting there. Or we can add that speed into it. But that's effort. So our first one is just balancing and holding. Again, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever feels good for you. You'll find if you add this in, the time passes quickly. Right, so that's like stage one. That feels okay. Let's add some of them in, yeah? And I'm not saying you have to do all of these. You might just do a few of these. That might be, you're pretty advanced and that might feel good for you. However, you might not be that confident. You might have a lot of pain, a lot of injuries. You might, again, you just don't feel great in your movements. So just start here, he says as he tips over, and then move on to this leg, this leg's getting tired. We might just start here, and that might be you for now. That's perfectly fine. You might need to hold on to a while you do it. You might need to, if you're really strong, because again, I want this to be as accessible as possible. You might have to start here. So I've got someone who's really bad and in pain. I might have them holding on to something, supporting something. I'll get one leg in front of the other, I'll get them to load, I'll lift that up, and that'll be it. And I'm just trying to put as much weight into that front leg as possible, so I can just go onto my toes there. So see how I can just pick it up there. So even there, most of my weight's through that, but that's just going to help you out a little bit. And it might be there at first, but gradually you can learn to do that. And then I eventually turns to that, and I eventually turns to that. And there we go. We developed our balance, we developed our proprioception, we developed our neurology, all these complex words. Basically, you just got better at balancing. But that's going to keep you safe. Yeah, that is again, it's that foundation. It's about building strong foundations, strong roots, strong connection with our feet and strong connection with the floor. Because as we put that foot down, there's a reason it's sensitive, there's a reason it's got all those nerve endings. There's a reason it's got all these little bones and all these little muscles and tendons and ligaments. It moves and it takes in information, it does it, and it adjusts. It's taking in all that information and it's making rapid adjustments and rapid corrections as we're moving. You'll think of a trail runner. That's why I always encourage people to go running. If you're on tarmac all the time, get out onto the trail, man. Your knees and your hips will feel far better, especially if you're in minimalist shoes sometimes. You're going at a nice low pace. That's going to develop your neurology. It's going to develop your body so much better. Before I go off on one, but that it goes down, it takes in that information. So that's what we're getting better at, yeah? We're getting better at taking in that information. We're getting better at plotting, you know, a path through the world and navigating it. Because what should be happening as we do that, I shouldn't be looking at it. It should just be happening. I should just be able to run and move and jump and have that reaction. That's what a good athlete does. He has this real neurological ability, flexibility. He has a really well-developed neurological system, and he's able to just, or she, is able to move really quickly and change direction really quickly without thinking about it. The body just does it. That's what I want to give you. Maybe not athlete level, but I'm going to show you how to hack into your body. I'm going to show you how to get the most out of it. And this might not seem like much, but it's a foundation, and it's something that so many people are missing. I was shit at it. When I went to uni, I was at my strongest. So at this point, I'm squatting 250, I'm dead in 250, I'm benching like nearly 150, right? I'm strong, and I can pass the test. But if the physical examinations and screening tools we did, I had good power, but not endurance or fitness, and a lot of other shit going on. But my ability was just, it just shrunk. My body had just become a prison. And if you made me hold certain positions, I had no control. I was like shaking like a shitting dog. And that is so important. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. So, just to summarise, we've got that, yeah? I've shown you how to scale it. We can start there, just having some weight on that. We take it off, right? Then we start to add that movement in. Then we start to add some pace into it. If that feels good, another little option for you, you can start to, I'll do it on this side, because I've not done a lot on this leg. We start to go boom, and like that, yeah? So we go up, round, out, up, round, out. It's quite hard to do this one fast. Up, round, out. 3 to 5 of them. So let's say this is per your warm up. You could just hold, you could do each leg like that. Might take you 30 seconds, might take you a minute, say if I do both. Then you're gonna do 5 of them. Then you're gonna do 5 of them. Couple of minutes. If you do that, so again, if you're pretty banged up, you're in a lot of pain, your movement's not great, you feel really stiff, you're tight all the time, that might be something you do daily. Doesn't mean you have to do all the other bits daily, but that might be great for you to do daily right now, just to develop it. And as you get better with it, you'll find you need to do less and less. But I would strongly encourage you to revisit this, even if you are more advanced now and again. So let's get on to the next bit now. We're going to start to develop these movements.